Quick action by fire service saves Moresby industrial area. Government negotiating team to help with Ramu-Nico agreement. And PNG Customs to open 12 new ports.
This is National EMTV News with Merba Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Monday's news. The national government will form a negotiating team to assist the Medang provincial government prepare a new Ramu-Nico agreement. This is according to National Planning Minister Richard Maru. This follows the Prime Minister's announcement to have a new agreement negotiated to ensure the agreement benefits the people and the state. Locals have expressed that they have not seen tangible developments or the benefits of the mine since it started operating.
Bright future.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill assured the Medang provincial government that the national government will not sign a new Ramu-Nico agreement unless it is reviewed to better suit the landowners, province and state. Mr. O'Neill said if the company wants to expand, they must renegotiate the benefits. He said this during the launch of several projects in the Usinobundi district in Medang on Friday.
By no agreement until you make him sure. Also, you got fair benefit. You got all man.
The Ramu-Nico mine is a $2.1 billion project, which is an estimated 7 billion kina, and is largely owned by the Metallurgical Corporation of China. Nickel is mined at the Kurumbukari mine site in the Usinobundi district and transported through a 135-kilometer slurry pipeline to the refinery in Basamuk, Raikos district. Locals say they have not seen much of the mine's benefits since it started operating. Landowners at Basamuk met with Planning Minister Richard Maru and Medang Governor Peter Yama, airing their grievances over the lack of developments in the district despite having a mine in their area. Mr. Yama assured them that he would not sign a new agreement with the company unless the agreement is changed to capture the needs of the people.
Number one agreement is finished now. Number two agreement by you sign him. No, this agreement, this time and by me by putting signature below me until time me satisfied.
Mr. Maru said it is unacceptable that the resources are being depleted without developments being done for the people.
The agreement was drafted in such a way that, in all honesty, it only benefited the company and not the province of Medang, our local landowners.
Mr. Maru said he supports the Prime Minister's call, stating that the Ramu-Nico agreement that expired last year must not be extended unless it meets the landowners and state's expectations.
The mining company is here to stay. All we have to do is talk with them and the Chinese government to work with us to develop and put together a far better package for the people of these two most underdeveloped districts where the mine is.
Lucy Kopana, National EMTV News, Medang.
Quick action by the PNG Fire Service has been commended for preventing what would have been a major fire at the Gordon's industrial area today. The storage facility belonging to Fedi Liquors caught fire at around midday. Given the location of this area and the large number of businesses, police and security personnel were first on the scene to prevent opportunists from taking advantage of the situation. A team from the Boroko Fire Station arrived shortly after and began their work. Boroko Station Commander John Ape was pleased with the efforts of his officers in containing the fire and prevented further damage to this property and neighboring properties as well.
Housekeeping is very important. Don't make unnecessary fires. Tell your kids not to play around with matches. It's very important. We're experiencing a lot of fire for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I'm so happy, we responded on time, and due to the wind, you see how we are battling here. We just put a fire up. So property owners, they're very heavy. We're very heavy, so it's too good.
Deputy Prime Minister and Treasurer Charles Abel today met with the visiting ADB board members and Country Director in PNG, David Hill. Mr. Abel said the government's relationship with ADB has moved from strength to strength, particularly in the areas of budget support and health. He also thanked ADB for its Sustainable Highlands Highway Investment Program. 6 members of the Asian Development Bank's Board of Directors are in the country from the 11th to the 15th of this month. They are comprised of executive directors representing countries in Europe, Asia, North America and the Oceania region. They will interact with project beneficiaries, meet with the private sector representatives and staff of ADB's Papua New Guinea resident mission. During the visit, the board will share with government and other stakeholders details of ADB's Emerging Strategy 2030 and other development programs. PNG Customs is set to open 12 new customs ports between West Sepik and Western Province. Part of a NEC decision, the 12 ports will be set up to improve government services along the country's borders. Out of the 12, 5 will be set up in West Sepik.
Part of improving services along the PNG-Indonesian border, PNG Customs with other borderline agencies have been tasked to set up 12 new border ports. This will be set up between the land borders from Vanimo Green right down to Southfly in Western Province.
We have 5 new border posts proposed to be opened, and we have 7 proposed new land border ports in Western Province.
According to Nipuru in West Sepik, 1 port has been set up while the other 4 are still in their development stages. The 7 in Western Province will follow once the West Sepik ports are up and running.
There's one in Scotio, it's already been off the ground, and also there's one in Vanimo Green for Hufi and Kamatoro. Also we have another new border port in Telefomin, is automobile, Zapsi.
As for locals, they welcome this initiative, saying it will make border trade more convenient. Furthermore, it will help minimize the number of illegal activities happening along the PNG-Indonesian border.
This will help me plan the old bushman through. Plan the time me come down or some town, go to Utong port, they plan the interference about long. All Papa ground government agencies may pay more double tax, and plan the tax can be an all Papa ground Utong the same.
Border ports in those places, it will bring some government services so that people can also benefit from it.
Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
The PNG Customs Service will roll out an automated system for customs data in Vanimo. Called the Asikuda World, the online system will be the province's first computerized system for customs clearance and accounting.
Vanimo will be the 15th customs port to use this automated system once it rolls out in the coming weeks. The new system takes into account all the necessary requirements for importing goods into the country, and it will be done online, making it more convenient for importers and consumers.
The system is web-based, and it takes into account international codes and standards developed by United Nations, and it handles cargo manifest, customs declarations, and accounting procedures.
As part of the Asikura rollout, a 2-day awareness was held last week in Vanimo for stakeholders, including other borderline agencies. This provided the opportunity for PNG Customs to explain further their role in this new system, which will be used across all borderline agencies, including custom agents and shippers.
The ones who are using, especially customs staff, the customs brokers or agents, shippers to submit manifest, and with all the other stakeholders who need to get information or reports from us, like other government agencies. We will give them access after we train them.
As innovation and technology slowly scrapes away traditional methods of customs declaration, Customs Assistant Commissioner Frank Babaga believes this is the way forward for customs clearance in the country.
The quicker we move goods along the border, back into the country, the less it will cost the consumer to pay for the goods when it's on the shelves. The longer it stays at the border, other charges apply, the importer will have to add on those costs and pass the cost on to the consumer. So the system is getting a way where we're able to facilitate the movement quicker, link up with our logistics operators along the supply chain.
Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
At around 10 a.m. this morning, officers believed to be from the Papua New Guinea Defence Force converged on the building housing the Department of Prime Minister and NEC. The Sir Manasupe House was forced to shut down for a few hours as officers demanded answers over unpaid APEC allowances. The Sir Manasupe House, the building housing the Department of Prime Minister and NEC, was cordoned off this morning following the arrival of officers believed to be from the PNGDF. The arrival of the officers forcing security to lock down the building, and police were also called in to provide additional security to the building and its occupants. National EMTV News arrived after the aggrieved officers were addressed by PNGDF Chief of Staff, Captain Philip Polewara, and Defence Secretary Trevor Meauri. EMTV News has been informed that the actions of the officers today stemmed from the delay in payment of the additional 300 kina in APEC allowances for JSTF operations conducted during the APEC Leaders Week in November 2018. The additional 300 kina was agreed to by the National Executive Council through an NEC decision on December the 20th. This followed a rampage on Parliament House by security force personnel earlier that month. Since the NEC decision was made following the passage of the 2019 national budget, this was not included in the official budget books and led to the delay in payment for officers, payments totaling 32.2 million kina. However, the officers were today assured that the Departments of Finance and Treasury were currently facilitating this payment, with payments to be made within the next 2 weeks. The officers were also advised that any further queries regarding their outstanding allowances would be dealt with by Defence Headquarters at Murray Barracks. Air Niugini has suspended its services to Aropa Airport, Keta, in the autonomous region of Bougainville, due to the removal and theft of the solar panels which power the Precision Approach Path Indicator lights at the airport. The flight suspension comes into effect tomorrow, Tuesday the 12th, and will continue until further notice. PAPI lights are a visual aid that are generally located beside the airport runway that provides guidance information to help pilots maintain the correct approach to an airport. They are a requirement for jet operations. The lights were only installed recently, allowing the resumption of jet operations into Keta in January this year. The project was jointly funded by the National Airports Corporation and the Office of the Member for South Bougainville. Here with National EMTV News, we go for a break and be back with more of the day's stories. Stay tuned.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
The PNG National Research Institute, in partnership with the Department of Lands and Physical Planning and other key government agencies, will be hosting the National Land Summit 2019 in Port Moresby, Madang, Kokopo and Mount Hagen from 21st February to 22nd March. The regional workshops will be held to identify issues that will assist derived strategies aimed at facilitating access to customary land for development. For further information, call us on 326-0061. The National Land Summit 2019. Our land, our life, our future.
At Colgate, we believe every child has the right to a healthy, bright smile. We educate children through Colgate's Bright Smiles, Bright Futures program by providing children, teachers, and families with the tools to make good oral health a lifelong habit. Each year, Colgate reaches over 450,000 children in PNG with this program. We are dedicated to turning the bright smiles of today into the bright futures of tomorrow. Together, let's keep PNG smiling.
Bright smiles, bright futures!
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
Wednesday on Marvel Runaways. Victor bleeds out as the bride members arrive to try and patch him up.
How are gloves gonna help? He's about to die. You need to do something.
Leslie has Frank arrive to use his healing gloves, but it sends Victor into a coma.
Pulse is faint. Skin's cold. He's in shock, but...
With reports from our correspondents right across the country, covering news, current affairs, sports and entertainment. 4 million viewers right across the country. MTV since 1987, still your number one.
Welcome back to National MTV News. A land group in the Wafi-Golpu area has claimed that they are the legitimate and legal landowners of the Wafi-Golpu mining area. Martin Tape, chairman of the Pew Land Group, said they have all the evidence, story and documents to support their claim. The head bishop of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Papua New Guinea has also written a letter calling on the Prime Minister to recognize Pew Landowners Group as the principal landowners of Wafi-Golpu.
In an interview with MTV Today, PU Land Group Chairman Martin Tape presented an open letter to the Prime Minister written by the head bishop of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of PNG. In the letter, the bishop has called on the Prime Minister to recognize PU Land Group as the legitimate landowner of the Wafi-Golpu mining area. The chairman said the church has recognized them as the legitimate landowner as they have been living in that area for more than 9 generations.
Is the letter I'm talking Peter one long declaim Pew or some papa ground long display Wafi-Golpu na stop long em because Pew emi stop long time long tumbuna or missionary bin come na bungi mol na look sabe long all or sem na me talk thank you long God long display tupla pasi come long yabem district president na head bishop long Lutheran Church tupla look sabe or sem Pew emi papa ground long Wafi-Golpu mine.
The group had undergone every requirement of the law for customary land registration, and to date the government has failed to recognize them as the legitimate landowner. The chairman claimed that there are no real landowners of the Wafi-Golpu project, and the MOU was signed without the real landowners present.
Na this la map where me play it lo Pew Posenachi over the name lo water on the mountain is stop inside lo this pla Posenachi where to muna sa stop long up or this already now inside lo Posenachi you know got yanta you know got tigambu you know got babab and master that's all come time only looking most the copper na gold or the come inside so Pew me get this la ILG na me stop na inside
The chairman also showed MTV all their documents as proof to support their claim. He now called on the government and the member for Bulolo to see them as the rightful landowner so that they can work together to develop the mine for the benefit of the country.
Prime Minister, you must declaim the nation or some Pew and me papa ground. So walk mining can develop now the man Mary can and I'm a mass na walk on them. Nalpa something too, and member Plumbulo, I'm not sabe read him this document na look sabe, I'm say go side plo yanta igambunda babab. So me plala Pew lek talk sabe or sem, and gupla time where government you must look sabe lo Pew na walk one time, Pew na or the walk by come up good.
Rayon Lakingu National MTV News.
Last Friday, over 2,000 teachers in the National Capital District pledged their loyalty by filling in their oaths and affirmation of service of members of the teaching service. The oath and affirmation is a legal requirement under Section 22 of the Teaching Services Act 1988. This year, the Teaching Services Commission for the first time applied the existing provision of the Teaching Service Act. TSC Commissioner Policy Samson Wangihome was among TSC officials who witnessed the pledges. He encouraged teachers to make a difference in their teaching profession and be positive role models. The TSC plans to spread the practice to teachers in other provinces. You're watching MTV News. We go for another break and be back with more after these messages. Don't go away.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
Are you serious? Is this the fastest you can go? Get out of here. Internet speed with Telecom PNG. I repeat, Telecom PNG is the fastest. The fastest here in PNG. So connect today to experience the difference. Telecom PNG, always there.
Are you looking for something to chew?
Yes, I am. But it's more difficult to find something to chew.
Not to chew something.
Me no kai kai boy, me kai kai PK Customs.
Tonight on Awesome 1M.
The rate of mothers accessing basic medical services during the time of pregnancy in rural Papua New Guinea is still very low.
We brought a number of quantities of delivery kits to ensure that the people, especially the pregnant women, get access.
It has done a big difference.
Awesome 1M tonight at 7 p.m.
Welcome back to the news. Now to a story about an education institution that is becoming a shining example of self-reliance and the spirit of determination and resilience. Ipao Technical and Vocational Training School was started by Thomas and Martina Kupari, who used their own money to build the basic infrastructure and train young and mature age students in technical skills. Today, the school trains IT students, motor mechanics, electricians and carpenters. Those who can't pay the fee of 50 kina pay in kind.
Using very basic tools, a blackboard, notebooks and experience, John Feku, an electrician and instructor, is teaching a class who hope to become professionals like him.
Mimba lani molon domestic wiring na semi-commercial wiring.
The desks are handmade and they try as much as possible to find the equipment that will give them the much needed technical experience.
So, Lord, next year, bamisali moligolon. Okay, alba working second year blolon. Don Bosco na kadosem fighting motivate about na leina igosem.
It's a difficult job, but there's no way these people are giving up.
So now I'm okay. Something come power come, house come, school come. Maybe I need to send him less.
Up on the hill, several other classes are in session.
Personal safety and workshop safety.
This is a class of future motor mechanics. It has one woman and several older students.
But the training not only children or young blood, grade 10 and 12, but all the papa and mama stuff, even Mino got the Karadreblo, grade 10 and 12, also Kishim, not Ben Bami Kishim, but then Milugin Morsem, or even or not grade 10 and 12, but they have experience. So
3 years ago, when Thomas Kopari and his wife Martina started this technical school, they were confronted with a huge demand for education and technical training. So they took in as many as they could, charged them a small fee of 50 kina and then began classes.
We only charge for them 50 kina for administration cost. And this 50 kina is only, not only cash and kind, meaning they can bring materials or anything, a word of 50 kina, 100 kina.
Soon Thomas and Martina found that they also needed to start an elementary school, so that smaller children could learn close to where their parents were getting educated. Ipao Vocational School has become a community learning center in its truest sense. The parents learn technical skills, the kids go to an elementary school on the same campus, and the people contribute to the maintenance and construction of the school. Ipao Vocational serves an even greater purpose. Many of the people who have come here to learn are tribal enemies, and it's caused the men to accept the women as equal partners in the community's development.
So now I'm Hamaslam Birigo stop and jet, I'm engaged stop and jet, missing Gatimolo, coming jet, and losing more something stop and jet. Sindel one bland desk. Even this time, me sending more some cultural hella too. Or they don't sit together with the women on one desk. But I'm talking about Sindel one bland desk. Or sit down and then I'm looking more sharing lifelong and more legally changed from this technical institution.
Many of the older students said the small communities don't need university degrees at this stage, but the technical skills are highly valued in their villages. Scott Waide, National EMTV News, Tari.
Turning overseas now, thousands of evacuated residents have begun returning home after a week after big wildfires broke out in Nelson, New Zealand. But authorities are warning people must be ready to leave again if the fires worsen. This is what the firefighters were doing in their own words.
What's above ground is generally underground as well.
The fuel is actually often buried in underneath. There's three things that make a fire. There's oxygen, heat and fuel. So you take one of those three things away and you kill a fire.
How many hours have you done up here?
Oh, look, we're sort of doing 12, 13-hour days, I guess, by the time we start and finish.
So this is essential slog. It's not the glamorous side of firefighting, is it? But this is stopping the fire from starting again.
Yeah, definitely. It's just eliminating a bit of risk, especially with the sawmill on the other side of this bridge. You just got to protect what brings the income into most of the locals.
So this is how you get the water in? It's just trucked in? This is the only way of getting it in?
This is the only way we get in to fill up our engine. If the tankers are busy, we can actually go down the hill and fill ourselves, but generally we try to work with tankers. It's much more efficient. And the only other way of water getting in is like a helicopter up here bringing in water in a monsoon bucket.
Putting out a fire, as far as the red stuff's only part of it, but getting in and digging it out and grovelling around, getting filthy, and that is really where putting the fire out is, and there's a lot of work ahead, I think, yeah.
And a good gust of wind on a hot, dry day, and suddenly you've got ash travelling through the air again.
Yeah, definitely. You get low humidity, hot temperatures and good wind, and she'll just take off.
You must be proud of what you've done.
Well, I'm proud of everyone that's here, and my crew has done a particularly good job, so yeah, I'm very happy with how we've gone. It's been great.
Knowing that you've actually been able to be a part of helping to extinguish this fire is very satisfying, because those people can then get back in their homes, and that's where we get paid, by just that, that emotional side of things, of knowing you're making a difference.
A small Texas town is at the center of a big international standoff over border security. On the US side, thousands of border agents, police and military. On the Mexican side, a squadron of officers and soldiers, all with the same concern of a migrant caravan waiting to cross.
The Texas town of Eagle Pass has been invaded. Thousands of federal, state, and local authorities, even military personnel, have flooded this usually quiet community on the banks of the Rio Grande.
Look at that. It's a combination of Customs and Border Protection vehicles and Texas state troopers. They are all lined up, literally, side by side, all nose facing towards Mexico. And then if you take a look across the Rio Grande, on the other side of the border, just recently we've seen this. Mexican authorities now lined up facing exactly the opposite direction.
Eagle Pass's mayor is grateful, but also a bit taken aback.
We are extremely appreciative of the work that they do, but this is something that is unprecedented.
Law enforcement patrol in vehicles, on ATVs, on bicycles, even on horseback. Helicopters monitor from above, while high-powered airboats prowl the shallow water of the Rio Grande. The security surge is in response to the arrival of a caravan of 1,800 Central American migrants, just on the other side of the border, said to have their sights on seeking U.S. asylum. President Trump has declared such caravans a national security threat and uses them to justify a border wall, painting asylum seekers as invaders, something he did again in his State of the Union speech.
As we speak, large, organized caravans are on the march to the United States.
Federal authorities fear a potential repeat of last November's chaos near San Diego, when tear gas was used to drive back migrants rushing the border area. Wow! Thursday, Border Patrol agents rehearsed in riot gear on one of the town's 2 public bridges to Mexico. Bridge defenses are being beefed up.
Part of our preparations include installation of temporary impediment measures on our bridges, such as Connex boxes, concertina wire, and jersey barriers.
So far, authorities say no caravan members have crossed illegally into the U.S. Local leaders credit not just the American show of force, but also a new stepped-up effort by the Mexican government, using its military and national police to keep caravan members under control. But processing 1,800 asylum seekers will take months.
This isn't going to be a short-term thing, then?
It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it, but, stand committed. My officers stand committed.
No one in Eagle Pass can tell you when or even how this international showdown will end.
Kiwi farmers are among those who face financial ruin in Ireland when the UK leaves the EU. Even if the withdrawal deal is struck in time, it could mean new tariffs, new rules and business-killing delays.
We are in Northern Ireland and bang, here we are, we're in the Republic. Just like that.
Taranaki's Mark Reeder now calls the Republic of Ireland home, but each day he drives 15 minutes to work across an all but invisible border.
It switches here to kilometres now instead of miles.
But as a European resident on a Kiwi passport, he could lose his job in Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK, when it leaves the EU.
This is under the current legislation I'm proposing. I'll no longer be able to work here in Northern Ireland.
He's not the only one on an uncertain journey. Currently, thousands cross through every day. There are no customs checks or tariffs. Kiwi David Porter's transborder business relies on this free flow.
Some of the products that we supply would be for calves. There's milk powder that they use when they come off their mother a few days old.
He fears post-Brexit tariffs and any changes to trade rules.
There may be a time where we're just not allowed to sell it, full stop.
And what could that mean for business?
Curtains, at the worst case scenario.
The UK and the EU still haven't agreed on border customs arrangements. Uncertainty reigns here.
At this moment in time, we get our product into Europe tariff-free. There's a market there with 500 million people. So come the 29th of March, that potentially could all end very suddenly, which is a bit of a worry.
It's even more complex for those whose farms straddle the border.
This will be the boundary between Europe and England, United Kingdom, and that itself will cause serious problems for me and serious problems for everybody in the area.
What's interesting to note here in Northern Ireland is that in the Brexit referendum, 56% of the population voted to remain in the European Union, so the majority of people here don't want Brexit at all. Yet it's these small border communities which are likely to face the biggest impact. Tensions are rising, theatrical protests sending a message to the politicians to keep the border nothing more than a line on a map.
Music's Night of Nights has just ranked the biggest acts gracing the Grammys in Los Angeles. In an event dominated by female superstars, it was clear who chose not to show, causing the most controversy.
An all-female power panel kicking off the 61st Grammy Awards.
Wow! Music has always helped me tell my story.
Among them, Lady Gaga emotionally accepting 2 awards for Shallow, from Oscar-nominated A Star Is Born.
Thank you so much.
And a nod to co-star Bradley Cooper in London receiving a BAFTA for Best Film Music, leaving Gaga solo for their hit duet. But not all winners showed up.
Childish Gambino could not be here tonight, but we accept this award in his honor.
Childish Gambino, one of a number of hip-hop stars boycotting the night, slamming the Grammys for nominating but not awarding their genre. In 2 landmark wins tonight, Gambino became the first ever hip-hop artist to score Song of the Year and Record of the Year. This despite hip-hop and R&B being America's most consumed genre since 2017. Last year, it accounted for nearly 30% of all online streams in the United States.
I want to let you know we play in an opinion-based sport, not a factual-based sport.
Best rap song winner Drake's critical acceptance speech then cut short, attracting more flack for Grammy officials. Unfazed, host Alicia Keys then played 2 pianos at once. Joined by the likes of Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus, 73-year-old Dolly Parton is still working it. A living legend transcending genres.
And on that note, we go for a quick break, and when we come back, some sporting updates in Trukai Sports. Don't go away.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma chocolate.
My baby is growing up so quickly, and I know it is important to give him a mix of the right nutritious foods for his growth and development. So I include a bowl of Cerelac in my baby's diet every day. It's packed with the goodness of rice and soya. It's so quick and simple to prepare, and is a source of iron, vitamins A, C, and B1 essential for his development. And he loves it too. Big nutrition for small tummies.
We're hoping that our attention to detail makes you smile. We're hoping that our comfortable dining helps you unwind and makes you say, yum. And maybe even party a while. We're also hoping you'll ease into work mode, or just relax, enjoy the view, and simply discover the beauty. Come see for yourself why the Alatau International Hotel is simply Alatau's finest.
The PNG National Research Institute, in partnership with the Department of Lands and Physical Planning and other key government agencies, will be hosting the National Land Summit 2019 in Port Moresby, Madang, Kokopo and Mount Hagen from 21st February to 22nd March. The regional workshops will be held to identify issues that will assist derive strategies aimed at facilitating access to customary land for development. For further information, call us on 326-0061. The National Land Summit 2019. Our land, our life, our future.
Tukai Sports.
Welcome to Tukai Sports. We begin with football. POM United ensured their winning streak continued with the club so far 3 from 3 in the Southern Conference of the National Soccer League. Their 3-1 win over Central United has given them some momentum towards their match this weekend against conference favourites Hekari United.
Home team National Capital District Port Moresby United are on a winning streak after a 3-1 thrashing of Central United. The game looked to be tough in the first half, with both teams ending the first 45 minutes scoreless. The second half was more entertaining but dominated by Port Moresby United. POM United put the Central players in all sorts of trouble. With the Central backline on their back foot, POM United scored the first goal through striker Stanley Kumun in the 52nd minute. POM United continued their dominant momentum with an easy goal to one of their key players, number 26, Iamo Maneka, in the 57th minute. Kumun scoring one more to take the lead to 3-0. A consolation goal by Central United player Patrick Nato in the 89th minute, closing the scoreline at 3-1. POM United coach Clement Kafu Anison pointing out that the team had worked hard on their structure to win the match convincingly.
Started off building the structure, which we didn't work on the front part of attack. After the second game, we went back to training and we started putting together from the back to the front, working on the attack. And as a result, it happened. The boys stuck to the game plan.
Kafu says the competition is in the early stages and the teams are yet to show their full potential, but they will take on each match as it presents itself.
So I think most of the teams are doing fine. It's that it's the start of the season, so you won't predict anything from them. But for us, we are concentrating on our players week in, week out, and what our aim is, whatever team comes, we take them on as it comes.
The team's biggest test is likely to be Hekari United in this weekend's fixture. Hickory is the standard that most teams are considering as championship material. But for POM United, taking on Hickory this weekend is an opportunity to cause an upset.
We'll be taking the former champion, as they call, but it's a new game and it's a new year and it's a fresh start for everybody. With due respect to them, having the players, our bunch of boys, very young, we'll work with them this week to, work on them and get their confidence done to play against the current champions.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV Sports.
Still on football, FC Moresby Wawens began the OFC Champions League campaign appallingly, losing 5-0 to Lautoka FC. This is the first time the Moresby Wawens have entered the Champions League competition.
Lautoka proved their supremacy from the start of the match, having numerous shots on goal. It wasn't a good day for Moresby, having conceded 4 yellow cards early in the first half. Lautoka's opening goal came in the 11th minute from Zibraz Sahid after Benjamin Totori was brought down in the box by Moresby Wawens goalkeeper Jason Bandy. Countless opportunities went begging as Lautoka could not find the back of the net. Moresby's Jason Farouk's lazy defense had him marching off the field after receiving his second yellow card and making matters worse for the already struggling Wawens team. Lautoka made use of their one-player advantage, which saw Benjamin Totori score the team's second goal 2 minutes before half-time. In the second half, Sahid scored his second goal with a powerful strike into the net. Kavaya and Rudru added the other 2 goals to round off a convincing win.
I had no unrealistic expectations of the result, but unfortunately our boys were shaken up a bit and they lost control towards the second part of the first half, and then towards the ending of the game.
Meanwhile, in the Group A challenge, Ley City Dwellers came from behind to end the match in a 3-3 draw against Tahiti powerhouse AS Tefana. 2 goals from Nigel Dabinyaba and the late equalizer from captain Raymond Gunemba completed the thrilling comeback from Ley. Elijah Levitt, National EMTV Sports.
To Rugby Union, the national women's rugby team, the ICTSI Palais, today visited Baruni and Tatana primary schools to donate school bags and stationery. The team of 7 players were accompanied by staff and CEO of ICTSI South Pacific, Anil Singh.
The ICTSI South Pacific Palais were given a warm welcome by teachers and students of Baruni and Tatana Primary School. As part of ICTSI's community initiative and supporting the national women's rugby team, ICTSI Palais, both Baruni and Tatana primary schools received cartons of school bags and stationery. At the school, ICTSI CEO Anil Singh took time together with the ICTSI Palais to meet and mingle with students from Tatana Primary School.
We have a team which is coming into the community at an impressionable age for young children. They become role models for these young children in Tatana community and in Baruni community.
He thanked the players for visiting the schools and for coming down to grassroots level.
Even for the Palais team, it is something that they would like to give it to the community, back to the community. It is very important for them to understand that these girls from Palais team will become their role models and they will remember and will carry a huge impression on their minds.
Today's visit to both schools was overwhelming, especially for students who were happy to meet their rugby stars.
For us, team coming like this, it's good for us to come and inspire, like me player, motivate him all, Sumatin, come up next future, all PNG Palais.
Meanwhile, after a week break, ICTSI Palais are back in training in preparations for the Hong Kong Sevens tournament in April. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
To Rugby League now, and players in the PNG Hunters team have different qualifications. Some have tertiary qualifications as well, but continue to pursue a career in Rugby League.
The PNG Hunters team is made up of players with different qualifications, both on and off the field. Some of the players have the passion for Rugby League, but are trained professionals in other fields as well.
Of the ones that have finished school, we've got a couple who have graduated at different levels, obviously, some from tertiary, some from secondary schools, and who would like to pursue through FOD or the institutions that are out there.
Since 2014, the club has had players come into the team who have tertiary education, others with secondary school qualification, and some who are keen on pursuing their education and work while part of the full-time squad.
Over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, we've had lawyers in our program. We've had guys who, Justin Olam, a physics graduate, Enoch Maki is a environmental science graduate, and so on and so forth. Different guys. Moses Meninga, teacher, taught, and we're giving them that opportunity if it's there.
The PNG Hunters team has players contracted to the team for a year, and apart from being full-time rugby league players, the management has programs in place to help the players prepare themselves outside of rugby league if they decide to pursue their careers elsewhere.
Part of their contract is to, most of their contract is as a full-time player here at the Hunters, but welfare is one of those things that we're looking at again, to make sure that we have a rounded a player who can at least have the opportunity post-rugby league.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV Sports.
Don't go anywhere, we'll go for a quick break and be back with more of True Kai Sports. Stay tuned.
True Kai Sports.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
Share the fun with Big Boy Gum and enjoy the colorful thrill. Flavor, surprise, and chewy excitement. You feel happy, you know you will. Drop some fun, hold on, young, yeah. On everyone, go Big Boy Bubble Gum.
It's on again. Back to school with Colgate and Protex. Win computer sets, sports kits and other great prizes for your school. Simply register your school to enter the competition and start collecting empty packets of Colgate brand toothpaste, toothbrush or Protex soap to earn points to win great prizes. School registration closes on February 22nd, 2019.
Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Colgate.
My baby is growing up so quickly, and I know it is important to give him a mix of the right nutritious foods for his growth and development. So I include a bowl of Cerelac in my baby's diet every day. It's packed with the goodness of rice and soya. It's so quick and simple to prepare, and is a source of iron, vitamins A, C, and B1 essential for his development. And he loves it too. Big nutrition for small tummies.
Sunday night on MTV, the must-see inspirational story of 21 years of development in Enga Province.
We want to make sure our secondary schools, our colleges, our primary schools, our elementary schools are the best in the country.
We want to be a role model
We want to be an example to others.
You will talk about the government that's being proactive is this way.
Enga Province, 21 years of action. This Sunday at 8 p.m. on your #1 to watch.
I love the way you taste.
I love the easy meal.
I love family dinner time.
I love my true kind.
I love the quality. I love the yummy smell.
I love the energy and strength.
I love my true kind.
So many reasons, all of us agreeing. So put on your t-shirts and let's all sing.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
Let's sing it again.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
PNG's rice, the very best rice. Let's get your love a true kind.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To some sport abroad now, and an Auckland kickboxer is now the talk of mixed martial arts in the star-studded UFC. Israel Adesanya's win last night in Melbourne has catapulted him towards a world title. The sport in New Zealand continues to rise despite ongoing debate over its sometimes brutal nature.
Israel Adesanya now knows he has the UFC world at his feet. Last night's unanimous points win over Brazilian legend Anderson Silva, the biggest of his career.
It was cool. It was not just any other fight. This was history in the making. This was fun.
5 UFC fights in just 12 months, 5 victories. He's fast become a promoter's dream.
He's an interesting guy. He's fun to watch, and I think he's got a really bright future here.
The City Kickboxing Gym in central Auckland provided 3 winners on the one card last night. Their stablemate, lightweight Dan Hooker, watched on.
I think it's just incredible, and it shows the world the kind of level we're on.
How much would that help Israel financially?
He's on good money. He's on buy a house in Auckland every fight money.
That much?
That much.
Hooker, who's back fighting soon, opened his own gym 9 months ago as the popularity of mixed martial arts continues to go through the roof. While the stigma attached to what can be a brutal sport at times is decreasing, it's still there.
They come down to the gym and they actually have an open mind and they want to have a conversation with me about it, then I'm very happy to do that, but if they just want to close himself in and say, "No, that's stupid, it's for idiots," and then not even engage in the discussion, well, then I'll leave them alone. I'm not going to argue with them behind a computer screen.
Whichever way you lean, Israel Adesanya, the Nigerian kid who came here aged 3 and was bullied, is now one of the biggest stars in a sport with massive global reach and the billions to back it.
When things are running hot for an athlete, it seems nothing can go wrong. Not only has snowboarder Zoe Zadowski won a US world title in the US, she won it after suffering a head knock and being ordered to sit out the competition.
If Zoe Sadowski-Synnott didn't know better, this was the moment she thought World Championship glory was over. The 17-year-old ruled out of the remaining competition with concussion.
Waking up this morning, I had accepted the fact that I wasn't competing in finals.
But prior to her fall on the second qualifying run, the teen was tearing up the slopes. New Zealand had never won an FIS World Championship title, and Sadowski-Synnott was our best chance, confirmed as the women's top qualifier.
I was more concerned about my head, and I put down a good qualifying run and that I was happy with, and that I was probably going to end up 8th.
But the team got lucky. Due to high winds, today's final was cancelled. Podium places decided by the top qualifying score, meaning Sadowski-Synnott would be a world champion.
I heard a knock at the door and it was one of the team coaches, and they were like, "You're world champion." And I was on the phone with my mum and she found out when I did, and that was pretty crazy.
The last year for the team's been crazy, to say the least, breaking a 26-year medal drought with a Winter Olympics bronze.
A massive switch backside 900.
And just last month, she backed up a Big Air silver by making history, with New Zealand's first ever snowboarding X Games gold.
I still can't really believe how fast everything's happened, and yeah, I'm just really grateful for everyone who's supported me.
And depending on how her head injury goes, Sadowski-Synnott will be hunting for more silverware at the US Open in 2 weeks' time.
And that's it for Trukai Sports this evening. We go for a break, and when we come back, we take a look at the weather for the next 24 hours.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
At Brian Bell Home Centers, we know that good sports always win. Whether you're kicking the goal for your team or reaching for great heights, pushing a little harder to go that extra mile to achieve your personal best. So when you're ready to unleash the champion within, go to Brian Bell Home Centers. We have everything you need to make your sports activities a winning experience.
Public awareness from IRC, payment due dates for goods and services tax, 21st of the month. Salary and wages tax, 7th of the month. Company income tax, 30 days after notice of assessment. Personal income tax, 30 days after notice of assessment. Stamp duty due on assessment are the withholding taxes on declaration.
Lodge appropriate tax return which is also due on the due date as the payment date. Payment methods include FPOS. All bank debit cards are accepted at FPOS terminals at our regional centers and provincial offices. Credit cards are not accepted. Bill pay. IRC biller name is Internal Revenue Commission, code 11628. EFT direct payment. Bank credit transfer application, bank check, bank draft. IRC is no longer accepting personal company check payments. You must include your TIN and name, tax being paid, tax period, payment date and amount, your electronic payment receipt. For more information on making tax payments or to obtain copies of your receipts, call 322-6548 or 322-6773 or visit www.irc.gov.pg.
This message is authorized by the Commissioner General, IRC.
Sunday night on MTV, the must-see inspirational story of 21 years of development in Enga Province.
We are very fortunate to have political stability in Enga Province.
It will produce about 10 to 12 megawatts.
This is one project that will really change the landscape of Enga.
People who want to know about development should come here.
Enga Province, 21 years of action. This Sunday at 8 p.m. on your number one to watch.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
A look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, all across the region, Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, Alotau and Popondetta can expect a shower or two. To the Momasa region, a shower or two in Lae, Wau, Madang, Wibak and Vanimo. Lorengau, Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka can expect showers over the next 24 hours. And in the Highlands region, the major centres, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabe can expect a shower or two over the next 24 hours.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's the way it is today, Monday the 11th of February 2019. On behalf of the MTV News team, pleasant viewing, good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods and Paradise Beverages.
It's bedtime.
Brush, 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 2 times a day.